This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, we're going to try this again here. Now it's working. Great to be with you here for Mid-Dale Sports Report at Buffalo Wild Wings. And we're sorry for the delay, but we're happy to be joined right now by Midwest City Girls basketball coach Megan Knight. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Please come here to support the Midwest City girls and boys basketball team as well as Midwest City wrestling team. And, of course, you can do that any time of the week up until March 31st. So there are we'll show you the cards, as we call them. You can show them a picture of this, and that team will receive 10%. Okay, let's go ahead and talk Midwest City girls basketball with their coach, Megan Knight. First, let's go ahead and look at the district standings. So if we want to put that on, Midwest City girls won last night against John Marshall, and they are now 9-0 in district play. And Coach Knight, you've been winning by some impressive scores since your last tournament, and we'll talk more about that. But what can you say about what your team's been doing so well?
We've been doing really good on the boards. We had 27 offensive rebounds last game. We had 24 assists. And those are the things that I think are really helping us with our offensive play right now.
Okay, and let's go ahead and show an accomplishment here for another one for Deanna Douglas, as she, surpassed the 1,000 point club, is that correct?
Yes, she did. She got it, I guess, last night right at the 2-minute mark into the game. She was able to score her layup to knock her down to 1,002 points.
And she's got to be, about, 800 rebounds now or something like that?
Yes, I think we did it today, and it was 748 rebounds.
Okay.
So by the end of this year, we're definitely looking at her having about 800 rebounds.
All right. The more games you get, of course, the more opportunities she'll have. One thing I want to show you right now is a list of the scores that the Midwest City girls team has had. So that's the next one over here. And this is in district play. Now, I had a list on me, but we had to scramble to get on, so I don't have it on me at the moment. But you've been winning by some impressive scores like we talked about and throughout all of district play. I think the closest was Lawton MacArthur by about 13 points.
Yes.
And you actually hit the 100 mark yesterday. First of all, when you hit the 100 mark, is that a big deal? Do the players get excited?
I mean, the girls got excited. It doesn't really affect me, but the girls definitely, that was kind of a goal that I don't know why, but they just really wanted to do it. And so it was really good to see some of our young kids be able to, partake in that with everyone scoring. So.
And then when you look at the scores, of course, these games, they're coming easy to your players right now. I know tougher games await. How do you keep your players focused, or what do you keep them focused on when you know that they're up by 30, they have the game in tow? What's the mentality there?
We give them goals every game, so we let them know how many offensive rebounds we have to have, how many turnovers we have to limit ourselves. And so we just make sure that we focus on ourselves and not always on the opponent, so that we are continuing to get better and not changing our style of play to our opponent. And so we're just trying to strive to continue to get better no matter what the score is, and continue doing our basketball no matter what the score is.
And you did have some challenges in your tournament a couple weeks ago at Moore.
Yes.
So you fell short against Choctaw, I think maybe still undefeated.
Yes, they are. They're doing a really good job. So it was good. We had three really tough games back to back. We had Bixby, went into overtime. We kind of beat ourselves on that, and so it was good for us to learn through our mistakes and then bounce back. Have Choctaw, which, like you said, they're undefeated. They're doing a great job in the 6A right now. And then, competing against Moore, who's just very physical. They compete day in and day out, so just being able to get that win on their home court was really good for us, just especially get us ready for the playoffs when we have to play tougher competition.
So what do you tell your team after, let's say, their second loss? Because you lost to Bixby and then Choctaw on back-to-back days. What's the message, or what do you tell your team that you want to focus on, that they need to get better at?
We just try to regroup back on ourselves. We've been lucky this year. We've only had 3 losses. All 3 have been to 6A opponents. And so we just, talk to our team about, learning from those mistakes so that we don't end up doing that again, especially with these close games. Going into overtime, going down to the last shot, 2 out of our 3 losses are really good for us, so that we know that we're never going to make those mistakes again, that we learn from that, and we know what to do if we're ever put in that position. And so just figuring out how to bounce back mentally more than physically, and that's what the girls did that Saturday.
And it was decided that next week you're going to make up the Guyman game.
Yes,
so you got
back-to-back.
Guyman doubleheader,
yes.
if you will. I'm glad I'm having you on next week, because you'll be recovering from the Guyman trip first. But
yes.
What went into that decision to play that game on Thursday the 8th, because then you got to turn around the next day against Lawton MacArthur for senior night?
Yes, it was kind of out of our hands. They have a lot of things going on Saturdays, and it's being such a long travel game for them. It was really hard to get them back down here, just, with the turnaround, having a game on Thursday or, game on Tuesday was really hard for them to get there. So we had to do what we had to do. It wasn't really ideal by any means, probably on either side. So it's just kind of one of those, that was the only date that worked for both of us. And so we're going to go with it and, hopefully get 2 W's that week.
Okay, so we get to have this 2 days before your big showdown at Del City.
Yes.
And we have talked about this before. They're back now at full strength. They got their guards that they didn't have in the first game. So what do you think is the challenge there against the Eagles? A game we'll have on the network, and we can't wait to have it.
Yeah, they're playing really well. I saw their Guyman score, their Guyman game, and then Southeast last night. They're doing well scoring the basketball. And so, we just talked to our girls about being prepared, being ready. Doesn't matter what we did, first semester, because they have 2 new, very capable scoring threats back on their team. And so we're just coming ready to go, playing our style of game. Right now we're a little sick, under the weather, so that'll be some obstacles, some adversity, but, you know, at the end of the day, you got to play. And so we'll definitely be there. We might be glued together, little pieces, but we will be there and we'll be ready to go, ready to compete on Friday night.
Now, I asked Coach White about what they can look forward to going to Guyman. So first off, I want to ask you, for that game on Tuesday, who has the honors of driving the bus?
We are getting 2 coaches that are not on our staff driving both girls and boys basketball. So it's going to be a long trip, but, you know, a good bonding experience. And so we're ready for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Del City boys told me that they're going to just watch a bunch of movies on their phone, and I forget how old we are.
Yes.
That wasn't an option when we were younger.
Yeah, we're going to play some card games, I think, and bring some stuff to try to stay entertained, for sure.
Okay, I just hope you're not too worn out Wednesday morning.
Hopefully not.
And then, you know, it would be by that Lawton MacArthur game Friday, senior night, you could have, you know, the top seed clinched.
Yes.
District title. What would that mean?
It would mean a lot. You know, we talked about that from the beginning, that we want to be the number 1 seed, especially for playoff standings. I think it's just a better goal, like a road for the end goal. And so, you know, we talked about that from the beginning. Is our main goal this year is not about seeding. It's about where we're going to be at the end of February. And so the girls understand that. They wanted to go undefeated from the get-go. That was the goal we made in October. And so that's hopefully the goal we end up, you know, achieving.
Well, you still have a little bit of work to do to host a regional, but it's looking like there's a good chance you will. And they're going to do regionals differently. So you're going to play your first game on a Tuesday, then play again on a Friday afternoon, which is an unusual time to play that.
Yes.
And then hopefully if you win both, you don't have to worry about Saturday, but there'll be a consolation game Saturday. So what do you think about that? It won't affect you as much if you go 2-0 like you're expecting to, but at the same time they're on different days at slightly different times. What do you think about the expansion of regionals?
It's different. I mean, it's good for people that, you know, accidentally have a hiccup or an upset that first game so they can kind of bounce back. Hopefully we're not on that. I don't want to play the extra games. I would definitely like to be 2 and done, and really 3 and done in the end of this, you know, March. But, you know, it's different. A lot of us coaches have talked about, you know, how it's going to be a completely different road when you're trying to look at it, how many more games, you know, if you go in that losing bracket, you have to actually do, and that's going to be a lot of wear and tear on them, and so they're really going to have to push through that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not us. We don't have to worry about that. But I do think, I mean, that's good for the teams that end up getting upset that first game, because especially in the last couple of years when we've been 6A, we've seen a lot of upsets that first game. That are very capable of going to the state tournament. My first year, we saw Stillwater upset Booker T at our place, and it shocked all of us. And so just seeing those things, I think that's good for them. But like I said, hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
All right, well, you see the card. So that's what you can show to raise money for the Middle City girls basketball team here at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City between now and March 31st. And I want to remind you guys that we're going to have the Del City game on here on the Oklahoma Sports Network against Midwest City this Friday. Then the next Friday we'll have senior night. First time we've had senior night for Midwest City on the network, as they'll host Lawton MacArthur, the top 2 teams in the district as well. So these are matchups you want to watch, and we hope to have all of their postseason games on as well. So Coach Knight, thank you very much. Hope your team gets better. Time for that game. And when we come back, we'll talk Middle City boys basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company is going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
All right, welcome back to the Middale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Once again, we want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings for hosting this show. Here at Buffalo Wild Wings, you can support Midwest City winter sports teams by coming here and buying their wonderful food and showing the waiting staff one of these cards on your phone. So we've got Midwest City girls basketball, Midwest City boys basketball, Midwest City wrestling, and Midwest City powerlifting. And, of course, Buffalo Wild Wings is your place to watch basketball this season. And we also want to thank Tooney Buys Houses. Tooney Buys Houses. We buy homes in any condition. If you need someone you know who needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. Okay, get to talk Midwest City Hoops with Coach Tori Noel and three of his players. So we're very excited about this. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and start at a bit of a down note, but I wanted to acknowledge the loss in the Bummer family with Juwan Walker passing, and I don't know if you were, knew him very much because he played 4 years after you did, or graduated 4 years after you did. But I know he's coached with Coach Walter, right?
Yeah, he played with Walters. He was one of those young guys that came and watched us play from the middle school. So it was a tough loss for us. Yeah.
Absolutely so. And now let's talk about how your team is doing here. So. You guys had a win against John Marshall. We don't have that in the standings, but right now you're still in first place in the district with Dell City just one game back in the loss column. Mm-hmm. And, you guys have been taking care of business. What's gone well for you the last couple weeks?
Man, we have the ability to make shots. We get a lot of shots every day in practice, and our guys are shooting it with confidence. So I try to tell them not to live by it, because it'll come the game where we're going to be making. We got to find a way to score the ball.
Yeah. So here's some of the scores that we have in district play. So you guys have been dominant since December 1st. We got 82 points against Noble, 95 against Santa Fe South. Your first John Marshall game, 86. We'll get to Dell City here in a second. That was a little different, obviously. 109 against Southeast, 102 in your second Santa Fe South game. And what do you attribute that to? I feel like it's pace, and you mentioned shooting. And one of the things I noticed is, you guys really good at that corner three. And I don't see every team, rely on that shot very much. So what can you say to that effect? And then your team's offensive, scoring in these district games?
Man, we practice shooting everyone on the floor. So we get a lot of shots up, as I said earlier. So I think it's carrying over from practice to the floor.
And so when we look at this Del City game, your last loss was against Deer Creek and at Deer Creek. And one thing I noticed about when I was watching that game is they were a very physical defense. They made it tough on you guys if you didn't have good spacing to dribble around very much. And they're a physical team. And I know Del City has some similar attributes. What's something that you guys need to work on when you play against a team like that?
Just be smart with the ball, man. That's all it is. I think they made winning plays down the stretch. We kind of gave up rebounding and second chance points towards the end of the game. We had opportunities to put it away. Just didn't make those plays. We was also down Roy Henderson, too. He averaged about 16 a game. Right.
He had a big game for you the day before against McGinnis. So what's the status there with Roy? I know he's back playing for you, but was it just a minor injury?
He had the flu.
Had the flu.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that would definitely have an impact on that game. Okay, let's go and talk to some of these players. Who do we have with us?
Roy Henderson and Brian Williams.
Two seniors. Roy, any chance that I'm hearing some of the girl players are sick. Did they catch it from you? No chance? Okay. Let me go. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go and turn your volume up here. All right. Roy Williams. I got the first and last names mixed up. Roy Henderson and Brian Williams. Welcome back, guys, because you were on with us a few months ago. Roy, how do you feel now?
I feel good.
All right. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
Okay. Brian, you decided to come back from just focusing on baseball last year. You happy to be back now? Have you had a lot of fun this season so far?
Yes, sir. I've had a lot of fun, especially playing under Coach Torrey. The boy's been hooping, so can't complain.
And what do you enjoy most about the game when you guys are dealing and you're winning by a lot of these district games, 20 points plus? What do you enjoy the most about those performances?
I mean, everything. Like watching Roy Carshion go for 20 points each, watching DJ get up his shots, just the game, just enjoying it.
And what type of role do you try to take on? I mean, I noticed you're definitely hard-nosed and you'll mix up on defense for sure. What type of role do you try to take on?
I try to take on that role exactly. I try to be the guy that goes out there and guards their best guy, limit him in his scoring abilities, and help the team in that way.
And Roy, what about you? I know sometimes you'll come off the bench. Do you like that? Do you like getting to watch the game a little bit first and then see what you got to do to help your team?
No, not at all. I hate
it. But you embrace it when you do come in?
Yes, I try to.
Yeah.
And the honest answer.
And how would you say your season's gone? I know you had a big burden last year. You're the team's leading scorer. And now, Deshaun's gotten better. You're playing with the guy we're about to talk to in Carl Sean. How would you describe your how you try to fit in with that? In fact, that you got some new players and Brian and players like that.
Kind of like college, like everybody good around you. Like your whole team is just everybody can go. So you just trust it, and we trying to win. The main goal is to win the gold ball. So you just gotta trust your teammates and come to practice ready to practice every day, and come in games dialed in every game. And we've been slacking, but
Well, when you practice and you have a chance to, during practice work on something you need to get better at, or after practice work on something. What are some things you want to focus on right now? Some things you want to get better at right now in the stretch run coming up?
Probably my leader skills.
Yeah.
How I come off, how things come off, as I say them to my teammates, because I expect my teammates to be better, be as good as me. So just, taking on how I can get the message out better and make my teammates better around me. Because when I'm up, everybody else up, the energy up, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we're going to win the game.
Brian, what about you?
Me, I would say take on a better Wait, can you ask?
What are some things you focus on in practice to get better at?
Oh, okay. So I say focus on our playmaking, like getting not missing guys when they're hot, getting guys their open shots and things like that. I say we also focus a lot on picking it up on defense. I say our last couple games have been lackluster, but we dial that in, we'll be fine.
And we're going to have Brian trade off here with one of his teammates, Carl Sheon. Coach, we're going to recognize Brian and Roy and your seniors when we have the Lawton MacArthur game on next Friday. But what can you say about Brian's return? Because you coached him when he was a sophomore, right?
Yeah, it's been good to see him grow mentally and physically. When I had him as a sophomore, he was, I don't know, maybe $160. And I come back and his arms is huge. So I like to see the work paying off with him on the baseball field and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's got those baseball forearms. And hopefully we'll talk to him when we get to baseball season 2. Right now we're joined by, this is exciting, Carl Sheon Young, who's committed to play basketball at Oklahoma State. Carl Sheon, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And what was that like? You were at a prep school in West Virginia.
Yes, sir.
And then you came back here in early November. Mm-hmm. And I've asked your coach about this, but, to join a team in that time, that's pretty late.
Yeah.
When you consider all the practices you're getting in and stuff. What were some of the challenges for you to get to used to your new team?
Just getting used to my teammates, and I say just getting the flow of the practice and the plays and the conditioning. When I was back in West Virginia, we wasn't a lot of running, but here it's a lot. But it pays off though. So
Yeah. Do you feel during the game like all that running in practice is helping you in the game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about the fact that you have a great opportunity to play Division I basketball. What made you decide to commit to Oklahoma State?
Family. It felt like family. The first day I went on my visit. It was my first offer, so it was. I just knew that's where I wanted to go. Like, it was no doubt.
All right, Coach Noel, of course, you played Division I basketball, and you're a lefty like Carl Sheon too, so, you can definitely teach him some things personally, but what's it been like seeing his development from the beginning of the season to now?
Man, it's been huge, man. It's been huge. It's been tough days. It's been good days, but we're starting to see it pay off. How he comes in every day and starting to be excited for his teammates and things like that, but we're starting to see it gel. So it's good to see.
We're going to get to the big one, the big game coming up here in a second. But what's interesting is you'll have a bit of a challenging week next week when you're going to play 3 games in 4 days, because you're going to play Godwin on Thursday. So you got to go to Godwin first on Tuesday. Coach Knott already said you guys have a bus driver lined up. So what do you think about making that long trip on a Tuesday?
It's going to be tough. But it's something I've done in college, so I'm used to it. These guys want to play college basketball, so that's what they're going to start getting used to.
Okay.
So it's just a little taste of what they see at the next level.
Roy, have you thought about that long bus ride? You already have an idea where you might want to sit? I'll just say this: be sure you bring your phone charger.
Yeah, I don't really want to go on it, but we're gonna get on the road and handle business.
And you're not going. You obviously want to take a nap before the game, but you have 4 hours, so your nap won't probably last that long. Carl Sheon, you ever thought about that? You thought about that long bus ride?
Yeah, I have. I ain't gonna lie, I have. For me, to get it over, just have fun on the bus and just sit in the back of the bus and listen to music, chill.
Yeah.
I can't complain, man. Anything that got to do with basketball, I'm there.
Well, the Del City players, because they went there last week, said they were going to watch movies on their phones, and that reminded me of how old I am, that they can do that. Speaking of Del City, it's 1 versus 2, and Del City. I think if they win by 3 or more, they would have a tiebreaker, which obviously you don't even want to be close to that. But they're not the same as these other teams you're beating in district. They play unbelievably good defense. So, Coach, what are your thoughts about this big game Friday?
Yeah, I think we just got to come out and worry about us and what we do well. They came out last game and was kind of physical, played fast, in a great environment that my guys probably wasn't, used to. It was still early. So we got games on our belt now, and I think the boys are very excited to come on the road and still win on the road to win districts.
Roy, I know you want that sweep, especially since, Del City had a winning streak against you guys the last few years. So what are your thoughts?
Nothing really, just stand on business. We going to handle business. That's it.
And I'll ask Carl Sean first, too. What do you think about the Eagles? I mean, you know where you're at in the standings. But even with your thought standings, if they were not in your district, it still would be one of those games you circle. And you had a chance to play against them in December. What do you think about the challenges Del City has?
I'm excited. They got a great student section. Student section. I'm the type of player that plays off energy, so that would be a great game for me.
And they play really good defense. What's important for you guys on offense here? And this is for both Roy and Carl Sean. When you from the moment they apply full court pressure to their half court defense.
I don't think nobody in the state can guard us.
Okay.
Two-headed snake, and then with DJ we three-headed snake. So I don't think
that part.
I don't think nobody can really mess with us. But
what do you think, Carl Sean? I mean, they defended you really tough at times, for sure, in the game in December.
Yeah. I say that just get ready for the doubles that they're gonna send to me. Just keep my head up and just hit the open man, because if it's two people coming to me, it's one person open. So just get ready for that.
I'm gonna piggyback off that, man.
Sure.
It was early. It was early on. We were still trying to figure things out. We starting to figure things out. They again, it's at times they score 20 a game, and they just got to figure out when to go score, when not to go score, and things like that. So, I think we're starting to figure that part out.
All right. Well, you know what, Carl Sean, we plan on having you won't see this live, but maybe you can watch it back. We plan on trying to have Brandon Garrison on at halftime. Yeah. So I don't know if you've talked with him any, because he's a couple years ahead of you, but he's already at Oklahoma State.
Right. Now, I talk to him on the daily, but it ain't really about like us playing Del City or anything. Right. It's more of a OSU thing. Like, what can I come in and do to start? Stuff like that. Like questions, that's gonna help me when I get there.
Well, he's doing pretty well. Team's a little down this year, but Brandon's playing really well. So I think it's good you get a chance to talk to him. I think he's going to have an outstanding career at Oklahoma State.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you do too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so just to let you guys know, we're going to have that game on the Oklahoma Sports Network, the Del City game, and then the Friday game is senior night against Lawton MacArthur, where several seniors will be recognized, including Roy, Brian. Is Mark Jackson a senior?
He's a junior.
Junior, okay, good. Well, he's been really good for you guys.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, man. We got 7 guys that scored over 20 this year. We have 4 that scored over 25. So when we figured out who's going, that's who we're going to run with, that's who we're going to rock with, and we're going to praise them and encourage them night in, night out, whoever that guy is. That's the beauty of us and what we do and things like that. So.
And Mark, he was a transfer from Edmond Santa Fe, was that right? Okay.
He's a Midwest City kid, though.
Oh, yeah, but
Maroney Middle School.
Yeah, he's been, whenever it seems like he's always sitting in that corner 3 that I talked about earlier. I mean, he's
quick
good two-way guys.
That's his side.
Yeah. Well, that has to be nice, Carl Sean. You can attack the basket, and if you got a player like Mark or DJ spotting up from that opposite corner.
Yep, that's the ease on me.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting it. DJ, Mark, anybody.
Roy, for sure.
We've been knocking shots down.
Man, just get off of it.
All right, one last question. What do you think, Coach? I mean, I know your guys are in a great position to host a district again. After last year, they had to go to Edmond North first game. So, but now that game will be on a Thursday, and the regionals will be on a Friday night, and it's going to be, they expand the district or the regionals. And and it won't matter if you guys go 2-0 other than the fact that the days change. But, what do you think about them expanding regionals?
I think it's a little tougher.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who you are. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to go win basketball games to advance, to get put in a good situation.
For sure. All right, well, again, the game is this Friday, Midwest City at Del City. And we'll have some other games on between now and then, but then next Friday, Lawton MacArthur, Midwest City for senior night, and we hope to get as many of their postseason games on. And you can go to Buffalo Wild Wings to support the Midwest City boys basketball team to show them this picture. They are Team F, and that's between now and March 31st. All right, so guys, thank you very much. Good luck in your game in a couple days. And coming up, we will have Midwest City Wrestling right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Del Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network here at Buffalo Wild Wings, where you can support Midwest City Wrestling. And this will be for boys and girls between now and March 31st. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings, show them this picture, and you can support Midwest City Wrestling that way as they get 10% of the proceeds. And, of course, also we're brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses, and we really thank Midwest City grad Channing Chamberlain for that support. Toonie Buys Houses. We buy and renovate homes in any condition. And if you know, or if somebody you know needs to sell a home, call them at 405-931-3046. Okay. Get to be joined by Midwest City Wrestling coach R.J. Walker. Sorry to adjust my headset there. Yeah. All right. Coach, I think some guys. You said you also had some guys sick yesterday?
Yeah.
And were you at Carl Albert?
Yeah, we were at Carl Albert yesterday, yeah.
Okay. Well, you sent us a lot of pictures. First of all, let's show the first one, which is a standings picture. So I forgot to even ask you about this, but you guys are in 6A. Is that you're still in 6A?
So wrestling's a little weird. So for district duels, we are 6A. So that's to go to dual state, and for the individual state tournament, we're 5A.
Okay.
So we're 5A for what most coaches are looking forward to. So we're 5A for the state tournament. 6A for dual state and district duels, because we were 6A last year. They go off of what you were the year before whenever they redistrict. So for dual state, we're 6A, and since the state tournament, the individual state tournament, they redistrict it every year, and so we're 5A for that.
So you guys might be dual state 5A next year then?
Not next year, the year after. So 25, 26 season.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you sent us some pictures. We got other pictures of senior night. So let's go and start showing them. So Who we got here?
Yeah, so that is senior. She's a senior. My head mat mate, Jada Brink, which actually she's sitting right over there in that booth with her friends. So, yeah, that's one of my head mat mate, Jada, who basically she's a coach essentially that doesn't get paid. She does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Okay.
A lot of stuff that makes my job and the assistant's jobs a lot easier. So it's been a pleasure to have her. These last 2 years that I've been in charge of the program. So, yeah, that's Jada Brink.
Okay, next picture.
That is Kylie Everett. She started wrestling so this is her third year wrestling that she came out. She's a senior girl. She's a girls heavyweight, and she's been really good for us. She's overcome a lot of obstacles, got a lot better, progressed a lot over these last 3 years that she's been in the room. And then she'll be going to regionals. Girls regionals are not next Monday, but the Monday after in Glenpool. So hopefully we can at least send her off with a trip to the big house for the state tournament.
All right, next picture.
That is Juan Pena. He's a senior also.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he had to have Tommy John surgery, so he missed last year. He got hurt in the Midwest City Open, and this year he separated his shoulder and tore some stuff up in his shoulder, so he's done for the rest of this year. So I know he didn't get to help us as much as he would have liked. The injury bug kind of hit him hard 2 years straight, which sucked for him. He's all around good kid. He's in band. He's just one of those kids that does the right thing around school. So it kind of sucks seeing a kid like that go down like that. But, yeah, that's senior Juan Pena.
For sure. All right, let's do another one.
Colton Williams. That he's been a key part of our lineup. He started. He was here. He's been wrestling at Midwest City since his freshman year. So that was the year before I got here. And he's grown a lot over these last 4 years. I remember watching him wrestle before I got to Midwest City, whenever he was a freshman, and you could tell he was very green to the sport. And this year, he's one of those guys that once it clicks, I know he'll be going to the big house, February 22nd through the 24th for a trip to the state tournament.
All right. And next one, I think it's the last from senior night.
Yeah, that's Reese Woodard. He's my 138-pounder. He started wrestling my first year here, so that was, 2 years ago. Whenever he was a sophomore, he started wrestling. And actually, his dad is in that picture in the back, and his dad wrestled at Midwest City back in the 90s.
Okay, good.
And his dad was a part of one of the national title teams. So it's pretty cool to kind of have that legacy come. And his twin sister, Sydney, is one of my mat mates. She's standing on the other side of him. So it's good to have both of them around. Sydney, she does a lot also, just like Jada behind the scenes. So it's really good to have both of them around. It'll be sad to see them go. And Reese, he's got actually both of them. They've got big plans. They're both going to the military to serve this country. So very proud of both of them for that.
All right, a legacy kid, and he's going to the military. That's really cool. And is this all them together?
Yeah. That's a big senior group picture. And then myself, Coach Cade, and then the other Coach Walker, my dad.
All right, let's look at another Coach Walker. This next picture, I saw this and I was like, yeah, this is interesting because he's a blood relative, but he's a rival at the same time.
Yeah. It's kind of a bittersweet. He's been at Hennessy these past 3 years, and he needed. He was wanting to come back to the city, and Coach Jamie Shaver, who is the head coach at Dale City High School.
Who loves him, said good things about him last week.
Yeah, he's a good friend of both of ours. I got to ref with him. I reffed freestyle last summer, and he kind of took me under his wing. And I don't think I'd have a bad thing to say about that guy. He's been a great guy and a great friend. And Corey needed a job, and Coach Shaver offered him a job and brought him on. I offered him a job too at Midwest City. Tried to say I can give him a little bit more money too, but my brother, he went with who he felt like he needed to go with, and I got nothing but respect for him for that. And we lived together. Me and my brother, we lived together. So I mean, it kind of worked out because living together and working together probably wouldn't have been the best idea for two brothers. So
Well, now you'll compete against each other tomorrow, but
Yeah,
more on
yeah.
that in a moment. So what you saw was a picture of Corey Walker, your younger brother by
Older
brother. By,
brother. Yeah, I'm the youngest.
By how many years?
Let's see. I'm 25, and he'll be 27 next month. Yeah,
so very close in age. I'm
yeah.
sure you guys wrestled against each other a few times.
Yeah, when we could. He was always a heavyweight, and I was always, a younger guy. Which that camera, that shot wasn't the most flattering shot of me. But yeah, when we were in high school together, I wrestled 152. He wrestled heavyweight. Then we were in college. He wrestled heavyweight, and I wrestled 165. So we drilled around a little bit, had a little bit of fun while we were doing it.
All right, well, that's great because he's a Midwest City grad, and
yeah.
he's on the other side now. But that happens. All right, let's look at some more pictures that you sent me real quick, and we're going to get to your wrestlers here. So we got there.
Yeah, so that's junior Aiden Tollison. He also plays football. We call him JT. That was at the Carl Albert tournament, and he got a big win last night against Carl Albert. And he's been wrestling. Glad to have him at Midwest City because he grew up wrestling with Carl Albert's Little League, and so glad to have him. And he's one of our, more consistent guys that we have in the lineup. So it's good to have him. He wrestles 215 for us. So. Yeah.
I'm glad the football team has him, too. All right, let's look at the next one.
That is DeBrell Davis. He's a junior.
I got him in class.
Yeah, he's a junior, and, man, that dude shows up, wrestles his butt off, and it was good to get him a win. That was, against Lawton Ike, which we won that duel, and it came down to the heavyweight, which it was Junior Ambrosio, who also plays football. It came down to his match, but DeBrell got a big win, and I was glad that he was able to get that because he hadn't had a lot of success. He's a first-year wrestler, and so it's hard to come into this sport as a first year and have a lot of success. But he got that big win, and we were all happy for him. So.
Well, and he's not a drama king, but yet he is because he also is recognized for his acting skills.
Yeah,
as a
he's
junior, so that's pretty cool. All right, next one.
Yeah, that's Aiden Brown, who's also who you'll get a chance to talk to a little bit later. He's sitting right next to me, but that was a kid, a very tough Carl Albert kid. I think Leighton Levitt is his name. But every time, he's wrestled that kid twice, and it's been a battle both times that we've wrestled him. But nothing but good to say about both of those kids. They worked their butts off, and they'll probably wrestle again at regionals in 2 weeks. So we'll see him again, depending on whether we stay east or whether we stay on the west side or if we get sent east. So,
speaking of guys, I'm glad the football team has Aiden Brown. All right, let's look at that's just Aiden warming up.
Yeah, that's him warming up. He kind of gets in his own zone, so I just let him be.
All right, and then I think is this one more of him here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Aiden Brown action photos here. All right, let's talk to Aiden Brown, and then who else do we have with us?
I got one of my I call him one of my freshman phenoms, Mr. Easton, a.k.a. Sunshine Hill. He's never seen the movie Remember the Titans, so he doesn't know who Sunshine is, but for the older crowd watching, you guys will know exactly who that is.
So it seems like Easton, that name started to pick up steam around maybe just a few short years before you were born, because Carl Albert has 3 senior football players with that name, and now my 1-year-old nephew that's his name, Easton Ray. So, anyway, freshman, huh? You did not look like a freshman. I would have guessed. So, welcome aboard, Aiden. Good to talk to you as well.
Yes,
Easton, so how long have you been wrestling?
This is my second year.
Okay, so you started in 8th grade. What made you decide to start in 8th grade? Because obviously there's other wrestlers who've been doing it for a longer time, more experienced. What made you decide to join?
I wasn't really just doing anything, just kind of living, right? And then, I want to get active. I wanted to, be active, right? Healthy, all that good stuff. So I just saw a flyer for wrestling, and I thought, what a hurt to try. So joined wrestling, had a pretty good year, and decided to stick with it.
Well, and if you want to be active, just wrestle, because the practices have to be – they're so intense, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you've gotten what you wanted.
Yeah.
Do you feel like I don't know if once you started establishing yourself as a wrestler, did you want to then gain weight to get to the class you wanted to be in, or the weight class, or lose weight?
I actually kind of want to gain weight, like right now, put on a little more size, a little more muscle. But back when I started, I mean, no, not really. Just whatever weight class I was at right then and there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when you start to practice, if you start to see the weight go down, and you kind of do adjust accordingly with your,
Yeah.
Did okay, but now you're trying to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find yourself having to eat a little bit more than maybe you actually want to, like eat at times you're not hungry?
Well, what I'm planning to do, I'm planning to jump up a weight class next year.
Okay, so
right now I'm staying in the 157.
So gaining weight's your more of a long-term goal.
Yeah,
okay.
long-term.
Well, what have you liked about the competition of it? You know, once you actually get on the mat and you're going toe-to-toe with another wrestler, what keeps you attracted to it?
Just the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Just going out there, fighting, putting my heart out.
All right.
Having a good time.
Okay, awesome. Aiden, glad to have you back on. I mean, I know you've been one of the wrestlers that's been mentioned individually for the success you've had this year for Midwest City. What do you think or how would you say your year has gone so far?
I think my year has gone a lot better than my past years. It's probably my best year wrestling so far.
And what do you think has helped you improve then?
I give a lot of credit to Coach RJ and our assistant coach, Coach Garcia and Coach Gavin Daniels, and my teammates, my drill partners. Then like Gabe Young, he's always willing to come get in the room with me and get a little drill in.
And what's been like one or two highlights? I know you finished well in the Carl Albert, the Malcolm Wade Invitational. Yeah. So what's been a couple highlights for you?
Yeah, I placed fourth at the Carl Albert tournament, and I also placed fourth at the Chickasha tournament, our most recent tournament. And I think our senior night duel, that was pretty fun to, sing my singers out on the band.
Yeah, because you're a junior. We're not done seeing you yet.
Yeah.
So how have you noticed, I mean, how long have you been wrestling?
This will be my fourth year.
Fourth year. And it's interesting because your brother played basketball in the winter, as I remember coaching him, and loved him, one of my favorites. You decided to wrestle. What made you join wrestling? I guess we're talking 8th grade then? Because your fourth year?
Yeah.
So same as Easton then?
Yeah. I played basketball when I was younger, but basketball, like, with the fouls and all that, I couldn't really be aggressive, and I didn't really like sharing the ball.
I can't disagree with that.
I don't really like sharing the ball, so I went to a sport where it was just me.
There's no ball.
Yeah. I didn't really like having teammates. So
you don't have a ball to worry about to share in there. Okay, well, let's talk sport you still play that as a ball, football. And I remember, I just recently watched a video about current and former NFL players who wrestled and how much that sport helped them. And one of them was Ray Lewis. I didn't realize how serious he was about it. Because I knew about him all this time, but I didn't know he wrestled. And he's a linebacker like you. Did you notice that wrestling helped you some as you develop as a linebacker in football?
Yeah, wrestling plays a big part in what I do in football, just level changing and tackling. Like, that's a main, it's a real fundamental part of football, and you work on it consistently in wrestling.
Yeah, well, I mean, Coach, anytime I hear that a football player is wrestling, I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Good for the football team.
Yeah, so all you football players that are watching this are going to see this. Come see me next year.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're a lineman or you play in the front seven or you want to work on your tackling skills.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. All right, so we got a big duel. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow against Del City?
Yeah, tomorrow against Del City. It's their senior night. And me and Coach Shawver, we've been, talking, about the duel, and I mean, a lot of our guys are good friends with a lot of his guys, and so it'll be good for them. I know he's got a lot of guys that can go. He's got some future state champs, and so it'll be a good duel. It's a rivalry, but also it's big camaraderie. It's a lot of camaraderie between us and them.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
And it'll be some brotherly love.
Yeah.
You and your bro. Okay. Aiden, what are you looking forward to? Maybe not just tomorrow, but in what's coming up. Any big dates you have that you're just thinking about?
Yes, we have tomorrow, obviously, our last duel against the rival Del City, and then I think February 16th and 17th we have regionals So, yeah, be looking forward to that. Try to put my foot in the door to get to the big house.
All right. What about you, Easton?
We have the junior high state tournament this weekend. So.
Oh, as a freshman, you get to be in that, huh?
Yeah, yep. So wrestling with the junior high, 9th and 8th.
Okay. Well, when you say he's a freshman phenom, what exactly stood out about Easton to you?
Yeah. So Easton, like he said, this is his second year wrestling. But he won, he won our junior high tournament that we had in Midwest City, got first there, and he picks up on it really quick. And, whenever we're in practice, we're conditioning, I tell them, take your mind to that place that nobody wants to go to. Basically, you're at your wit's end. It's, it's tough. You want to quit, but take your mind to that place that nobody wants to go, And, we're conditioning, and Easton's, calm, cool, and collected, not letting it faze him. And the dude, I mean, I'll say, we wrestled against Lawton Ike last Thursday, and 57-pounder, our 57-pounder was out, had the flu. And so, on a day before, I gave him 24 hours notice. Hey, Easton, you're going with the high school tomorrow. He's wrestled a lot with the middle school this year, because he's a freshman. They can still do that. And so, on the day's notice, hey, so he's picking it up really well. He's learning. And I would definitely say by the time he's a senior for sure, I'll be looking to, work with him and try to get his name on the wall. And that's what we're currently trying to do for AB right here, because at Chickasha, one key thing that happened, and that's kind of how I knew that he was all in. He's wrestling a kid from Lawton Mac, and he's losing with like 10 seconds left. And I told him, take your mind to that place, and he kind of can see a change on his face, and he got a takedown with like 5 seconds left, ends up winning the match. And so it's kind of big, for him. And so, like he said, we're trying to get him to the big house and try to get him on the podium at the state tournament. And hopefully, next year with some summer wrestling and football, we can get him at the top of the podium next year. So
hopefully. Well, you know what? That's a lot to be excited about. Any other dates you want to mention besides Del City and the regionals?
Yeah, so Del City's tomorrow. We got regionals 16th and 17th, and then February 22nd through the 24th is a state tournament down at the fairgrounds at the, everybody calls it the big house, but down at the fairgrounds at Jim Nork Arena is a state tournament. So, but we got to place top 5 at regionals to make a trip there. So hopefully we have some guys that are able to make that trip, and they show that they're hungry for it. So it's coming up for us.
All right, just a reminder, guys, if you have a chance to watch any of that, please do. And also, be sure to come here to Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City anytime between now and March 31st so you can support the Midwest City wrestling team. They get 10% of whatever you purchase. And, again, that lasts until March 31st. And, of course, they have a lot going on these next few weeks, so we want to be supportive of them. Let's do that. All right, Coach, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go take it to them tomorrow, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to talk Midwest City girls wrestling after this. You're watching the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Again, support Midwest City sports. That includes girls basketball, boys basketball, wrestling, and powerlifting by showing them the correct card. And you can contact us if you need help figuring out what that would look like. But those teams will get 10% of the proceeds between now and March 31st. And we also brought to you by Tooney Buys Houses. Tooney Buys Houses, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Happy to be joined now by Midwest City Girls Wrestling Coach Tyler Cade. Coach Cade, so what are some things that have been interesting or exciting these last few weeks since we last talked?
Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. We were in the Carl Albert Malcolm Wade tournament about 2 weeks ago. Had a good big girls division in all weights, and we had one lady take second place, Megan Aaron. Another one, Skylie Kramer, took fourth, and our heavyweight, Kylie Everett, had a good showing as well. But that's always a big tournament for us. Big girls division, girls from all over the state, from Duncan to McAllister to Altus to El Reno. So girls that we'll be seeing here coming up in regionals were there, so it's good to get a good evaluation of kind of what we're going to be facing here the next couple of weeks.
All right, and let's show that one of the seniors got recognized, one of the senior wrestlers. And
yes, that's our heavyweight, Kylie Everett. She's been wrestling for 3 years now, ever since I was the head coach. She's come a long way. So, you know, wrestling is a very disciplined sport. You got to maintain your weight at all times, and she's had to cut some weight and has done a great job of maintaining her weight and being disciplined. And this is her senior year, and you know she's been a good 500 wrestler, always about 4-4. 6-5, stuff like that, and I feel pretty confident this year. We're going into regionals in 2 weeks, and we're going to the east side, going to Glenpool, and I feel like with her draw, with her bracket against some of the girls, she's got a really good chance to maybe be a state qualifier this year.
Now, when you say you're going east side, is that a different draw than the boys? Or
yes, yeah. Okay. See, so the girls, we either go to Yukon or Glenpool this year. The boys haven't announced their regionals yet, so we found out last week that we're going to go to Glenpool. And at first, it was kind of like, well, we got to drive that Tulsa area. But when I get to look at all the teams that we're going, we're gonna see some teams we have seen that we've had success against, and then we're also going to see some teams we haven't seen. So it'll be a good test to see where we stack up across the state.
Now, when we last talked, you had a couple of experienced wrestlers, and is that? Or what, has that number changed any?
No. So all these girls, Megan and Kylie, they've been with me 3 years, and Skylie's been with me 2 years.
Okay.
So we started the program. This is the third year of the program. So majority of the girls have been with us all the years. And then I got some middle school girls coming up in the next year or two. So our goal is to keep the number, to hopefully get to 7, 8, or 9 girls here pretty soon. But right now, we're rolling 3, and they've been with me the last 3 years.
Okay, so 3 wrestlers. All right. Yep. And then you mentioned I don't know if they consider it for wrestling junior high or middle school. I've heard it called both.
Yeah.
But for middle school, are you communicating with those girls too?
Oh yes, they come to our practices during our breaks. During Christmas break, we'll have a practice open to the middle school to come, and those girls come in and wrestle with some of our high school girls, and it gives me a chance to get to know them, see their wrestling style, see kind of where they're at physically wise. So I've got I know 2 coming up next year I'm really excited about, and so and their numbers are continuing to grow in the middle school and the little league programs, so we just got to keep them coming up and continue to grow our high school program. Our goal is to have 9 to 14 girl wrestlers. We could have a dual schedule and actually not have to just rely on tournaments and actually have duels against other girl teams. So, but of course we got to get our numbers where they need to be. So we're working on it every year.
So will we see any of these 3 wrestlers tomorrow?
No, we're just going to go all boys tomorrow.
Okay.
But then what we will do is in 2 weeks we got our regionals, and we'll hopefully get some state placers, state qualifiers out of that deal. And so they're just going to spend the next week and a half really practicing hard and getting their body and mind right.
Okay, so you'll have a bit of a lull between Del City and regionals?
Yeah. So after Thursdays, this Thursday's our Del City duel, and then next week is weekend is dual state, and we're not in that. So that it gives us a week to practice. Another good thing about that is we can do some joint practices with some teams that are also didn't go to dual state. So if we get the opportunity to go to another school and practice with them, usually they have some lady wrestlers as well, and that gives our ladies the opportunity to wrestle with some other girls before regionals.
And you've been coaching here. We talked about this for since you've been here at Midwest City, coaching girls wrestling. Well, what was your wrestling background before?
Oh, just growing up in Choctaw, wrestling there. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So grew up wrestling there, and then learning it. And then when I went to high school, when I got more into high school, got more into football. And obviously, I went and played college football. And then when I got back into coaching and got the secondary, the high school deal, they always had wrestling opens, and so I was excited to get back into it.
Yeah. Well. I told Coach Walker a few minutes ago and his wrestlers, I came across a short video on YouTube about NFL players, former NFL players who were also former wrestlers in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And how important that was to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, and I've always heard this, but seeing it from NFL players was really interesting. And there was even this Patriots offensive lineman who didn't even play college football, but his wrestling background helped him have a long career.
Oh, yeah. It's great on leverage and teaching you how to win individual battles as far as working hand work, and then with football and wrestling, they tie together a lot as far as, with the takedowns and the tackling and all that stuff. They tie together really well. So we always encourage all our football players to wrestle because we think it teaches a lot of discipline, mental toughness, and things that can carry over to both sports.
Yeah, hopefully you'll have some more Aiden Browns for football.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But since I have you on, we mentioned football. I am curious. I wanted to talk to someone about this. So what do you think of I'm sure you watched the NFC Championship game when the Lions decided to go for it in those situations in fourth down, and I was like, I think that's a bit much for my own opinions about football. But as a defensive guy, especially because the way the Lions coach mentioned he didn't have faith in his defense by making those decisions. So
yeah, you definitely don't want to hear that. And then I've always looked at it as where are we at on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been with coaches that they had to be past the 40, or past the 50 to even think about it. And what I've noticed these last couple of years are teams will be backed up and still trying to go for it in some risky situations. So me as a defensive guy, I don't ever want to give him a short field, give him a 40, 30-yard field. So I've always, with our offensive coaches, I'm always like, just let me know where we're at on the field, and we can kind of look at each other and say yes or no. But, I think it depends on the momentum of the game as well, and kind of how you're feeling and how your defense is playing. If your defense is playing lights out, it might be opportunity for the offense to go for it if you feel like your defense can hold up. But early on in the game and the season, I feel like maybe it's time to punt the ball.
Well, in this case, kick field goals.
Field goals, yeah.
In my opinion, if you're up 14, take the points because you go up 3 scores.
Yep.
That sums it up there with that first one.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. All right, so one last thing. We do have that one last football game. So do you have a Super Bowl pick?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs until somebody can prove them wrong. Everybody kind of count them out this year, and when they matter, they come through.
Well, if they can go to, Buffalo and Baltimore and win, they can definitely go back and win in Vegas.
Oh, definitely.
So, be very interesting to see you. Well, Coach, I want to appreciate you for coming on these 3 times these during the season to talk girls wrestling, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to one of your girls. If not, anytime soon, then maybe next year we'll have to come to them, or something. But really appreciate you highlighting the girls wrestling program, and hopefully you'll continue to add some wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's our goal. And anybody watching that's interested that's at Midwest City, I'll just come talk to me or Coach Walker, and we'll hook you up and get you lined out.
So many good reasons to do so. So many good reasons for sure. All right, thanks again. And that will do it. Again, we want to say this. We show this, but we do have active fundraising going on for Midwest City Powerlifting, and we haven't been able to get their coach Chauvinek on, but we hope he's. We want to send him well wishes, and hopefully he's doing well, and hopefully that will something that we can have on in the future, and you can support them along with Midwest City Wrestling and girls basketball and boys basketball, and it'll help them a lot thinking about weekends like this where the wrestling team goes to Del City on a Thursday and the basketball team goes to Del City on a Friday, and the Friday game will be
right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just so you know, next week in basketball, we'll have the Del City team basketball teams going to Lawton MacArthur on Tuesday, and an interesting matchup for Carl Albert on Thursday when they take on Crossings Christian. That could be for first place if some things work out in Carl Albert's favor. But Crossings had an upset yesterday against El Reno, so that will make that game even more interesting. And then senior night for Midwest City basketball Friday as they host Lawton MacArthur Friday the 9th. All right, we want to thank Matt for producing again, Matthew Batista. We were really had a tough one tonight because we got some camera problems. Technology finally bit us here for the first time in several episodes. And Alicia, we want to thank her, Alicia Wooten, and we appreciate her as well because we needed all the hands and all the help we could get. All right, we'll be back on next week, at least that's the plan, with Carl Albert, Winter Sports Teams. And you've been watching the Middle Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.